Welcome to August's Plan with Me. This month's theme is Home is Where You Are. My partner and I celebrated our 5th anniversary on August 1st, and we are moving apartments at the end of August, so I wanted this month's theme to kind of be an ode to our relationship, as well as this concept of home with each other, but also home in the city of Philadelphia and the current apartment that we have. So a lot of my bullet journal elements in this month are actually inspired by our time in the city as well as elements of our own current apartment. For the cover page here, I'm sketching a window and I'm using a photo I took years ago in Philadelphia as a reference. A lot of row homes in Philly will have this sort of scene with a picturesque window and then a flower bed full of flowers adorning the bottom of the window frame. I find this site very romantic and I often stop to take pictures while I'm out with my partner, and he's very patient and waits for me to take like 20 photos of the same thing. I purposely did not draw the bottom of the window frame because I don't know where the flowers and the leaves will end up, and I know that it's going to cover it, so I left some space to draw in these flowers. After that, I draw in the roses randomly, trying to vary somewhat in size, but they're pretty uniform. And then afterwards, I go in and draw these cascading leaves over the flower bed. I wanted to add in some trellises as well. I've seen them in Pinterest photos and I think it looks so romantic. It gives it more of a whimsical flair and just extra shape to the page. This is definitely the most involved cover page I've ever attempted in my bullet journal. Usually my cover pages are very minimalistic and simple, but I saw this sort of cover page on Pinterest over and over again, and I thought it looked so cute. I knew I wanted to replicate it, and I felt like this month was the most fitting time to do it. So here I am filling in the outline of the shutters and the window frame after I finished drawing in the flowers. I am using a 0.28 thickness pen, and this is my go-to pen when I'm sketching a lot of detail in my spreads. The ink is also less likely to run and smear, although spoiler alert, I still end up smearing a lot of my pages. I thought I was being really creative by adding in the calendar month on the window pane, but looking at it now, I'm not a big fan of it. Now I'm coloring in the cover page, and first I'm starting off with a darker green to color the rose leaves. My coloring is not the cleanest it could be, and that's sort of on purpose, sort of not. One, I was in a rush, but two, I figure like if this is about me and my partner's love, our love is very imperfect, so this kind of tracks. But also because I think if I am not coloring in all the way in inside the lines or all the way to the lines, it gives kind of a more dotted and dappled effect. So now I'm going in with a lighter green to color in the rest of the greenery of the flower bed. Then for the roses themselves, I'm picking different shades of red and pink and a little bit of orange, which is my color theme for this month. There is some smearing that's happening. I probably didn't let the ink dry long enough when I sketched with my black pen, and so now when I'm going in with my Tombow and applying some moisture to the ink, it's running a little bit, and so you can see the tip of my Tombow is picking up some of the black ink and it's darkening the shade of the color. So I'm trying to be careful now and not touch any of the ink, so I'm literally trying to color in between the lines now. It's time to color in the window frame and shutters now. I picked a combination of colors where they were pretty close in shades, so a pink and then a brighter pink. This pink is a little bit of pink and orange, But then for the inside of the shutters, I'm using a brighter pink. In hindsight, I wish I picked a more neutral or less bright color combination because it feels a little bit neon to me, which has character, but wasn't originally what I was going for, but it's okay. It's done and it's still pretty. The last item to color in is the flower bed itself, and I'm just being careful to color in between the leaves and flowers that I've already colored. I do struggle a little bit to envision where the ends of the flower bed are because I didn't actually sketch it in. So that's me trying to figure it out with my Tombow. Lastly, for the month name, I am just doing a simple monoline hand lettering font. And here is our completed cover page for August. Ghosting is inevitable with this journal, so you see the ghost of the cover page here. It definitely bothered me in the beginning, but now I'm used to it and I feel like it's kind of charming, so I don't mind it. Now I'm getting started on my mood tracker, and I decided to draw out our kitchen island, which is an island from Ikea, and we love it. It is amazing. I knew I wanted to draw this island for this month because it's a very special island to me and my partner, I think, because it's our first piece of furniture purchased together for our joint apartment after he moved from Jersey to come to Philly to move in with me. We bickered about buying it at first because I wasn't used to buying furniture because luckily in all my other previous apartments, my roommates all had furniture that they brought with them, so I never had to purchase any piece of furniture. So this was literally like the first piece of furniture I ever had to purchase, and I balked at the price. I think the price was like $600. But my partner argued that it'd be a good investment, especially because our kitchen is very small. There's almost no storage space. And so, this island, you can buy the attachment to hang the bar and hooks to store more things. So, that added like another extra $100. And we bought it, and it was worthwhile because we have nowhere else to store all our mugs. So I'm very happy that he won that round of arguing and that we went ahead and purchased this island because it's one of my favorite things in the apartment, especially because I enjoy cooking and I need a lot of space to cook. The kitchen looks like a tornado after I'm done cooking, and there was almost no surface area for me to prepare dishes on. To track my moods, I'm making each piece of kitchenware a day. And in order to capture 31 days of August on the spread, I had to draw a lot of kitchenware. Thus, 10 of them are mugs. And so these mugs are grouped very closely together. We actually have that many amount of mugs hanging from our kitchen, if not more. This page wasn't wide enough to capture all of that our kitchen island can store, but the drawing is pretty true to reality. I do have a pothos on both sides of the kitchen island. I just didn't bother drawing it on the left side of this page. The hardest part of this mood tracker was sketching everything out in pencil because I needed to draw enough to represent the 31 days, and the mugs were taking up the whole width of the page, and so I was like, how do I add more? And so I looked at our kitchen, and actually we do hang pots and strainers and a large variety of cooking utensils, and they hang lower than the mugs, so this was perfect to add a couple more days into the tracker. So I just finished the bar portion of the island, and now I'm moving on to the table portion of the island. I'm drawing in a vase here to represent another day, and I'm going to add flowers to it. I am very much a flowers girly, and when I do have flowers to put in a vase and display on the kitchen island, it is a very happy day slash week. Now I am drawing in our bar stools. We originally got these because we intended to use the island also as a dining table since it was just the two of us. These stools are also from IKEA, but we scored them at a discounted price because they were found in the as is section. To sketch the stools, I literally found a drawing or rendering of the bar stool with the dimensions on IKEA's website or somewhere on Google Images and sketched the stools based off of that. So it is a very realistic depiction of what the actual stool looks like. I had never really considered myself as someone who's good at drawing, but I think I can do decently if I have a reference image that I can go off of. I definitely have a lot of room to improve, but for someone who never took art classes and just draws recreationally, I'm really proud of myself for attempting a tracker like this with so much detail. This was originally the aim of why I started bullet journaling as well. I wanted to be comfortable drawing more and growing in that skill. Although, to be honest, it's been more than half a year of me doing bullet journaling, and I don't know if my drawing skills have improved at all. But I think what has improved is my willingness to try new things and just go for it. I was definitely more scared to even start at the beginning of bullet journaling. I wanted things to look perfect, and if I didn't get it to look good, I erased it and I was just done with it. But now if it's not perfect, it's fine. I tried and I had fun doing it, and often after finishing a spread, I felt like wasn't turning out that great. I look back at it and I'm like, actually, that wasn't bad. I'm glad that I went through with it and just tried. I definitely lost steam while sketching in kitchenware, so that's why I end up assigning parts of the bar stools as days of the month. For my mood key, I decided to do a garland of hearts, and I am realizing right at this moment of editing the video that I forgot to draw in the actual faces on the hearts. So let's just pretend that it's there. Again, my color theme for the month is oranges, pinks, and reds. So I'm filling in my moods with these colors. Just pretend the orange heart on the left is the super happy face, and the pink heart on the right is the super sad face. For the title of the spread, I'm just going in with a bubbly block font. So now I'm going in and coloring parts of the tracker that aren't associated with the days, which are the leaves, the support structure of the bar stools, and the flowers in the vase. I don't know why, but I love this clip. It's so relaxing and it reminds me of how I feel when I'm coloring in after I've sketched everything. It's like the best feeling. It's so meditative. My brain just shuts off. I don't think about anything. And it's so nice to see the colors come together. I am taking creative liberties with the coloring. The island is a wood color and the stools are black, but that wouldn't fit my color theme, so I'm going a little bit out of pocket. Moving on to our habits tracker. This is going to feature our living room space. It's basically showcasing our IKEA sofa. I'm realizing this theme is somewhat of a tribute to IKEA, which is not entirely surprising when I'm basing this theme off of my own apartment because it's so filled with IKEA stuff. We just basically shop from IKEA when it comes to furniture. Anyway, this couch that I'm drawing is literally our living room couch. It's a sectional modular couch. We love it. It is a green color, but that doesn't go with my theme, so I color it something different. But we do have very colorful pink-esque pillows that adorn the couch. I am literally sitting on this couch right now as I'm editing this video. I'm putting the title of the tracker in this picture frame here. This doesn't exist in our living room space, but it could in our new one. And then to fill in the space here, I'm just drawing in a mirror. So if you always see a piece of paper underneath my hand as I'm sketching, it's because I'm trying to avoid the smearing. It is at this point that I forgot to add this detail to the bar stool and I'm retrospectively adding it in. I literally completed this spread before I went on my anniversary trip, so that's why I was in a rush. For the pillows, I wanted to do a striped color effect. It's kind of reminiscent of the pillows that we have, although the pillows that we have four colors, but I didn't have the time for that, so I just stuck with two. Our actual couch color is green, but I don't quite like the color theme of our actual living room. I feel like it's a little bit all over the place. So on my tracker, at least, I wanted to use more cohesive colors, so I stuck with a warm color and just chose this muted orange color. I do regret this darker red color for the lamp. I feel like it's not as cohesive as it would have been if I used one of the pinks or oranges. I feel like it's a little dark, but it's okay. It's a small part of the spread. For the title of the spread, again, I'm going in with that bubbly block font. I don't want to hand letter this. I want it to feel more fun and playful. I did the bottom of the spread first because I wanted to figure out what colors I was using before I colored in the habits. So after assessing the bottom image, I settled on these three shades to highlight the titles of my habits. The top three habits are the ones that I am very consistent on from month to month, which is art, reading, and exercise. Actually, the fourth habit, too, I'm pretty consistent on, which is no sugar. Sadly, sugar breaks me out and gives me headaches, so I try to abstain from it as much as I can. My habits change month to month for what I track. I've put floss back in because I recently went to the dentist and they told me I really need to keep up with my flossing. And then the last one, manifesting, is an exercise that my therapist gave me to try to help with some of the discontentment I've been feeling at my job. I don't know if I fully believe in the concept of manifesting. I think there's some validity to it, but then at other times I feel like it's too simple and sometimes a little bit out of touch, but I will give it a shot. Anyway, here is our completed habit tracker. Moving on to the rest of my trackers, which I call low effort trackers because I don't do much else to decorate them except to letter the titles. The first tracker is anxiety because I have actual generalized anxiety and I like to track how my anxiety levels shift throughout the month. The next tracker is migraine because I have chronic migraines and I like to track my symptoms, the intensity of my migraines every day, and what kind of medication I'm taking to manage my symptoms. Journaling, I have found, actually decreases my frequency and intensity of migraines. Next up is sleep, and I kind of missed with this color choice. It's a little bit hard to read. The thing is, I think this is one of my favorite colors out of my Tombow brushes. The colors for the titles are chosen a bit randomly. I do try to correlate them to the tracker. For example, the love tracker is in pink, but I try to match it with the color theme, and if I can't find a perfect match, then it's just somewhat random. I picked up a new pen while I was on my anniversary trip. It is a pink gel pen, and I really like the color, so I picked it up and I felt like it would be fitting to use for the period tracker to draw in the calendar. The pen writes pretty smoothly if you're angling it correctly, but if you don't get the angle right, then the ink that comes out is not as consistent. It felt really good to use. There were times where I had to double over the lines that I had drawn because the ink wasn't quite as consistent, but I'm happy with the purchase. I don't usually try to add decorative elements to the period, but because this is a more visual tracker, since I'm drawing in the calendar page, I do try to make it look kind of nice, so that's why I'm coloring in the headers for the days. And then lastly, I'm going in with a white pen to number each day. The last monthly tracker is expenses, and then after this, I go back and draw in the days and indicators for each tracker. I use my 0.38 Muji pen to do this. For the anxiety and migraine trackers, I use a scale of 1 to 5 on the top, and then I leave some space to write notes about the day. And then on the anxiety page on the vertical, I go down and write the days of the week, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then on the migraine side of the page, vertically going down, I write the numerical dates of the month. For my sleep tracker, on the left side of the page, I track energy, so how much energy I have that day. And going vertically down on the sleep side, I put the days of the week. On the love side, I put the actual numerical dates. And then I track my sleep range. I do it from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. because my sleep ranges a lot. And then on the most right side of the page of the sleep tracker, I track the quality of my sleep every night. For my love tracker, instead of using a scale from 1 to 5, I go from a really mad face to a heart, and this tracker just tracks how nice I am to my partner. I have a tendency to nag or be critical, and I want him to feel safe in this relationship, so it's something that I want to track and improve on in our relationship. And lastly, for the expenses tracker, I track the date of the purchase, what type of purchase it was. The three categories I have are necessities, which is things like rent or household supplies like detergent, and then food, because that's where most of my money goes after rent. This includes eating out as well as groceries, and then I have a catch all bucket for everything else. Here's the final flip through of our August setup. I am very happy with how it turned out. I'm really proud of myself for incorporating parts of my personal life and my relationship into this theme, and I love that it's memorialized in my bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed and hope to see you in the next.